Good evening, footy fans. Welcome to TIO Stadium for the resumption of the TIO NTFL season. Had a couple of weeks off for the Christmas break. My name's Stu Davis. I'm joined tonight by Josh Heath. Welcome, Josh.
How you going?
Good, thanks. Josh, St Mary's Premiership player, of course, and former assistant coach with Thunder. Josh, no greater rivalry in NTFL footy than between these two teams over the last decade or so.
No, absolutely. It's been a bit of the modern day rivalry, and a really good one at that, and get some really good spectacles out of it.
Yeah, so they played off in 6 grand finals in 9 seasons, these two clubs, and including 4 in a row in the last 4 of those. So, and of course, Wanderers beating Saints late in the year last year consigned Saints to the wooden spoon for last season for the first time ever. So Saints won the first match up this season and be looking to continue that. But of course, Wanderers traditionally after Christmas come home pretty strongly, don't they, and hit finals in form. But they're coming from a fair way back this year.
Yep, they seem to get their timing right, and I'm sure Shannon Motlop's got them all ready to go after Christmas. So
yeah, so obviously being early in January, the first game after Christmas, there's a few outs from both sides, but Saints have managed to get a few in from a few fly-ins in. Some pretty strong players in their side. Rhett Jordan, Jackson Payne, Jackson Calder coming in, and Wanderers, on the other hand, brought back some of the old faces. Shannon Motlop, the coach, is playing himself, and Aaron Motlop's playing. So it'll be interesting to see how tonight pans out, but always a good contest between these two clubs. Both sides tonight wearing black armbands in memory of Steve Olsen, who passed away on Christmas Eve, former long-term president of Wanderers and a very popular figure in NT footy and well-respected administrator. Basically kept Wanderers in the game while they were at a pretty low ebb in the 90s, and helped them establish the strong foundations that have seen them being a powerhouse in the last 10 years. So respects to Wanderers and Steve Olsen and his family. But we're ready for the start of the game now. Wanderers won the toss, kicking to the airport end, and bounced down to start now. Ryan Smith stood under that one, got the punch forward, but Bo O'Connell tied it up for Wanderers, drives them forward. Out here looking for Joel Jeffrey back in the side this week. Breaks the tackle there, swings around on the right foot and drives the ball into the goal square. Oh, Thomas Motlop down there had hands on it but couldn't take the mark. And it's Saints who clear away towards the boundary line. It's just gone over the boundary line in fact, and will be a free kick for out on the full. And it's Warwick Williams down there for Wanderers, who'll take the free kick about 10 metres in from the join with the 50 metre mark. So yeah, pretty good shot if you could get it from here. It's going towards the goal, but just always near side and offline for a minor score. So first score of the night to Wanderers. Pretty good start for Wanderers. Ryan Smith got the tap, but Wanderers have had all the possession since then.
Really interesting matchup. It's going to be Braxton Armat and Joel Jeffrey there. We'll just watch that one closely tonight. Yeah,
a couple of young players. Jack Long brings it in, but his kick's gone too wide, and before Nick Yarron could take the mark. And Wanderers again with the opportunity, comes inside. Aaron Motlop there couldn't take the ball cleanly, throws it out, and the umpire sees it that way, and it'll be a free kick down here. Jack Long wanted to take it, but umpire's making Jake Long come back and take it. He sees Paredes in short. He plays on straight away at half-back, drives Saints straight down the corridor, but that kicks over the head there of Morris Rioli, and Wanderers out on the outer wing through Cooper come forward. Some nice work there by Mark White, under-18 player, I think, for Wanderers. Ball goes into the forward pocket and it's slapped out of bounds in the left forward pocket. So as expected, a pretty hectic start, and no one with a clear advantage so far, but all the territory's been with Wanderers at the airport end of the ground of TIO Stadium. Boundary throw in now. Brian Smith grabs it out of the ruck and kicks out of defence down towards the outer side of the centre square. Ball's in dispute on the ground, pushed out the back. Shannon Rioli picks up now and drives Saints forward to a single man in the forward 50. It's Jackson Calder keeps the ball in front, and ball trickles over the line. Jackson Payne couldn't pick it up. He's claiming a free kick here. I don't know if the umpires actually paid it that way. There's a bit of a conference between the field umpire and the boundary umpire, I guess, to see if the ball was out of bounds before there was a free kick, and the boundary umpires won this argument. It'll be a throw in just a couple of metres round from the behind post in Saints' forward pocket. Ball comes to the front of the ruckman there. Just a bit of a scramble on the ground. Comes out now and a quick kick away. Sees Wanderers take the ball outside defensive 50. Handball misses the target there, and a chance now for Wanderers to go forward again. Dre Thompson out there couldn't take the mark in front of Jacob Long. He's working hard to keep the ball in front of him. Picks it up now and finds a little bit of space and chips across to Cade Stevens. Stevens goes in short, and mark's well taken there. Driven inside 50. Saints look to have numbers back here, and some good work back there by Adam Parry. Got it over towards Jack Long, back to Parry. Hand passes inside to Braith Hodges, and Hodges now with a bit of space drives Saints down the outer wing. Shannon Motlop with a strong mark over the top in front of the scoreboard, and chips back across and finds Liam Daly. Daly switches to the outer side here. Mark's spilt there by Rhett Jordan, but managed to butter up, got the hand pass inside to Jake Long. He kicked into Salmon, and Salmon on quickly and finds his teammate out there in Leroy Larson, looks like.
Probably the first bit of clean play Saints have had so far. They've been a bit fumbly early and just looking to settle into this first quarter.
Yeah, it can sometimes be the way first game back after a couple of weeks off, but I think most clubs have been training most of the way through, Josh.
Yeah, Saints have been doing a fair bit, and I've heard that other clubs have all been hitting the pavement pretty hard, so hopefully we get some good skills in the first round back.
Leroy Larson's set shot at goal, no problem there, straight over the umpire's hat, and the first goal of the game to St Mary's, and Leroy Larson's had a pretty good year coming back this year, Josh. He's a reliable kick for goal and been pretty energetic up forward for him.
Yeah, he's filled that spot at centre half forward, and I think that's what they were lacking in last year, Saints. And yeah, his attitude's definitely upbeat, and the players are getting around him at training, so I think he's enjoying his time back in the territory.
So just looking at the flags out by the scoreboard, there's a little bit of breeze probably favouring the airport end, so a handy goal into it was a strong kick, was never in doubt at all. So looking for the restart here. Umpire Seb Dalgleish to bounce the ball in the centre, and Smith again gets a hand pass this time, driven forward by Slater. Offhand taken there by McMurray. Hand pass put his teammate under a fair bit of pressure, but didn't take possession of the ball and was held without it. That's Rhett Jordan, who sees a free player inside 50, and that's Nathaniel Paredes, who found himself in some space about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle, took the mark, and the opportunity to stretch that lead again.
Just a quick shout out to Nate for his birthday today, so hopefully he gets this one through. Or I'll put the mockers on him.
He got under that, chipped it, and stayed near side. Nate Paredes, of course, won the last 3 best and fairest, I think, for St Mary's, and played with Thunder in the 2019 season. Very important player to the club. Braden McLean brings it in for Wanderers towards the grandstand side here. Jake Long going across the front, but hacked out of there by Shannon Motlop. It gives Joel Jeffrey the chance to run onto it. He overruns it. Braxton Armat does some good tidy up work with a hand pass to Jack Long. He drives along the wing and finds Joseph Salmon just forward of the wing. He centres the ball into the corridor looking for Leroy Larson, but over the back, a good mark taken by Clarence Baird. He drives in short to his coach Shannon Motlop, who marks and chips in again. Salmon got back to do some good defensive work there, got a hand in and then recovered and was first to pick up the ball. Switches the ball out wide to the outer side now. Saints have got 2-on-1, but Dre Thompson working hard in there for Wanderers. Got his boot to it, supported now by Bo O'Connell. Chips in, just misses the target there. Picked up there beautifully by the young fella Mark White, but unfortunately his kick was offline and a minor score only. But some promising signs for Wanderers in that attacking move. Kicking comes out wide to Davies now. He drills the ball in to Jacob Long, who marks at half-back for Saints. Drives the ball down the wing looking for Ryan Smith. Ball bounces in front of him, but Smith able to pick it up and get a hand pass across. His teammate's in trouble there though. Hand pass comes back inside and it's Bo O'Connell doing the tidy up work for Wanderers. Hand passes back to Braden McLean. Long hand pass forward and a chip across, and Bo O'Connell takes a steadying mark at half back for Wanderers. Looking to see what he's got ahead and decides to switch right across the ground here and hits up Tyrell Louis. And Louis brings it further towards the grandstand side and finds Joel Jeffrey out on the grandstand wing. Things look pretty stagnant in the forward line. He hasn't got much to go to, so he drives long down the line now. It's Thomas Motlop's got a bit of company back there, but Bo O'Connell comes in to help, does really well, gets the kick around the corner in towards the forward pocket, but Tom Davies gets back there first. Hand pass comes across to Parry. He chips in short, and a strong mark taken there by Liam Daly. Got a whack in the ear to go along with it, but nothing wrong with that, says the umpire. And Daly plays on, switches to the outer side, looking for McMurray there. Ball's on the ground in front of him, picks up well. Hand passes across to Slater, who drives Saints down the wing, where Ryan Smith is in the marking contest and first to the ball at ground level. Ball comes over the top now, but it's Saints in there through Jordan, who got the hand pass back, gets it back himself now and drives along the outer wing. And a good mark taken out there by Jackson Calder. Inside, Shannon Rioli running inside 50 now, kicks towards goal. It's close, but not close enough, just offline to the right. So Saints starting to control the ball a bit more around the ground, Josh, and giving them some opportunities on goal, but not taking advantage of them at the moment. Yeah,
just working nicely into space and using the far side there to stretch the defence of the Wanderers. So good to see Shannon have a go from where he was, but normally he'll tick those ones off.
So the kick comes in, and Mitch Garton for Wanderers takes the mark at half-back. He goes backwards out towards the boundary line and finds Bo O'Connell.
He's had a fair bit of the footy early in the game.
And he drives down the wing now. Looking here for Tyrell Louis, who takes a good mark at the back of the pack. Tyrell Louis' kick goes inside 50 near the boundary line. Some interference there, and it'll be a Saints free kick to Adam Parry. What's the story with Adam Parry, Josh? Has he come across from Pints or something like that? Is that what I heard?
He decided to have a go and come across and trained hard early in the pre-season and got his opportunity and held onto it with two hands. Not sure about the hairstyle, but apparently it was a Christmas festive season, so decided to change it up.
Makes it easy to recognise him. Benefit of a 50-metre penalty, drives forward, but Wanderers have got all the numbers there, and it's Braden McLean who takes a mark, switches across to the outer side, where he finds Clarence Baird. Baird in short to Aaron Motlop. His first game for the season in the seniors. He goes in short and finds Robert Howard. Howard goes wide to the outer side, and the ball bounces out of bounds between wing and half forward for Wanderers just around from the TIO scoreboard.
This Wanderers are struggling to find an option inside 50. They seem to be, using possession pretty well, the young boys from half back through the middle of the ground, but just can't quite penetrate that forward 50 yet.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times down here they've had a mark around the wing area and have had to hold the ball up because they've had no options going forward. Brenton Motlop this time gets a kick inside 50 and falls in the lap of Joel Jeffrey. So that was better movement forward. Joel read it best and took the mark in front of Jake Long there. And we'll go back and have a shot at goal. The opportunity to kick Wanderers' first goal for 2020. He'll be kicking from around 40 metres. Distance shouldn't be a problem for him. We haven't seen him in the NTFL for a few weeks. He's been doing some work with the Gold Coast Suns Academy, which is a great thing. Kicks on the way now. Goal umpire's making a bit of ground and that ball's missed to the near side. So still no goal for Wanderers so far tonight. They've had a couple of opportunities but unable to put one on the board. It'll be Jack Long for St Mary's to bring the ball back in.
Not a lot of movement there for Jack, so
he runs on now, takes a bounce, calling players to run towards him, and reliable kick hits up his captain Shannon Rioli on the half-back flank. Rioli chips in short to Jake Long. Jake Long inside the corridor again, finds Liam Daly, and Daly switches to the grandstand side here with the marks taken by Jordan. Jordan drives the ball long, it goes over the back. Wanderers first there but can't take clean possession, and the ball eventually spills out. Jacob Long picks up on the outside of the foot going inside 50. Braden McLean's back there doing some work, got tackled. Parides picked up, kicked forward under pressure, and the ball's punched through by Daniel Fuller for Wanderers for a minor score for St Mary's. Quick play onto the outer side, and the chance for Clarence Baird. He's under a bit of pressure, chips back inside, and now Saints have the opportunity to go in again, but a great follow-up tackle by Clarence Baird back there and wins himself a free kick. So he put his teammate under pressure, but worked hard to get himself back in the play and won himself a free kick. So Wanderers struggling to get it out of the back pocket there, but eventually the kick comes out by Baird. Dre Thompson can't take the mark there, and Shannon Rioli with a bullet pass hits James Quinn. Quinn drives the ball long in towards the goal square. Mark unable to be taken there, but off the ground with the snapshot towards goal. It goes right across the face and bounces out of bounds. It was Nick Yarron, I think, had the shot at goal then.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Saints are matching them 1-for-1 just outside of the 50 there, so it's making it really difficult for Wanderers to find their way out of their defensive 50. Hence why they're making bad decisions and turning the football over in their defensive 50.
Boundary throw in now. Calder doing the ruck work for St Mary's, gives away the free kick, and a pass by Fuller comes across to captain Braden McLean. He chips in short to Brenton Motlop, who took it on the second grab, and now he goes sideways out here, and it's Dylan Dos Santos, I think, who's got the mark at half back. He drives the ball down the wing. Joel Jeffrey with some good body work there and recovered first and kicks Wanderers forward towards half forward. Shannon Motlop up high, couldn't take the mark. Thomas Motlop, quick hand passes forward quickly. Cooper there picks up the ball, evades the tackle, and now on the left foot kicks towards goal. It's a great kick and it's straight through the middle. A fantastic goal down there, and probably some reward for some of the work that Wanderers have done early in the game. Gets them on the board.
Yeah, Joel Jeffrey won this 50-50 contest here against Jake Long, and just used his body and able to win the contest, and just got Wanderers out of that defensive 50, and then fast play into their forward line to well-deserved goal.
So it was Shannon Motlop contesting in the air, Thomas with the awareness to get the ball forward quickly, and then Michael Cooper with a bit of composure there, got around his opponent and swung out on the left foot with a beautiful finish. So we're 15 minutes into the first quarter and only a point the difference. So not only a goal each so far, but both teams have had opportunities to have more score on the board than that. Restart in the centre of the ground. No, Ruckman can really win possession there, and it was Baxter Slater who took possession of the ball, but he was swamped by a few Wanderers players, and the free kick was paid against him. So Wanderers now coming forward. Bo O'Connell out in front here, got a bit of a nudge in the back. Umpire saw it that way, and he'll take the free kick just on the 50, about 20 metres in from the boundary line. He looks to centre the ball. That's a pretty ordinary looking kick going forward, but still his teammates first there. Kicks smothered, and Davies coming through strongly. Parry on the ground for Saints. Thomas Motlop tried to play for a free kick out the back of the pack, but nothing doing there, and it'll be a ball up about 10 metres from Wanderers' goal. Smith with a big fist out, back inside 50. Shannon Motlop picks the ball up, but unable to control it. Umpire said that's holding the ball, and Paredes took the advantage. Played on quickly. Eventually it came to Shannon Rioli, back to Morris Rioli. A good hand pass across. Shannon Rioli chips out wide now and finds his teammate out there, and Riley Miller. Miller back to Shannon Rioli, who was running forward. Drives inside towards the top of the goal square, but Wanderers are first back there. Braden McLean's kick's smothered, and Saints are all over it. And we'll have a ball up about 15 metres out directly in front of the Saints goal. Some good transition work there from Saints, Josh.
Yeah, just ability to gut run and share the football. Just couldn't quite finish off.
Leroy Larson with the snap at goal from that ruck contest, but offline for another minor score. So Braden McLean kicks in short, and Wanderers without much pressure on, able to bring the ball out towards the wing. Miller out there with Dre Thompson. Thompson got rid of Miller and then went back, picked up the ball, but Miller came back and tackled. Ball eventually spills to ground, and Aaron Motlop picks up, drives forward and hits up Thomas Motlop. About 60 out, he kicks across and finds Shannon Motlop. So the three of them all in the play together there. Shannon, a booming kick normally, drives the ball towards the top of the goal square, looking for Joel Jeffrey, goes through the hands there of everyone. Some good tidy up work, and Saints have the opportunity to come out of defence. Morris Rioli takes a bounce, now ducks inside and put himself under a bit of pressure actually. Ball was touched, hand pass comes across. Jake Long taps it forward, but a little hack kick goes forward, and Leroy Larson in there doing battle with Braden McLean. The ball's trapped in underneath them, and we'll have a restart just forward of centre for Saints.
Yeah, MJ just trying to do a little bit too much there, but when it comes off, it looks really good.
Yeah. So Smith gets that hit out. Larson picked up, but was tackled straight away. Got the hand pass forward. Paredes with a quick kick off the ground. Didn't quite work. Fuller back there for Wanderers gets a hand pass forward, and clash of bodies, and the ball spills out over the boundary line. So Bo O'Connell again in there with some good body work. He's done a lot of running and had a fair bit of the ball, so he's an important player for Wanderers. Boundary throw-in now. Comes out the back. Paredes is there, gets a hand pass forward. Nick Yarran kicks out wide, and that's the end of the first quarter. I don't know if there was a problem with the clock there, Joshy, but looks like it hasn't reached 20 minutes yet.
Not quite.
I know it was low scoring, but anyway, it's an entertaining contest, and at quarter time, it's Saints 1 goal for 10 points, leading Wanderers 1-2-8.
for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, forever you feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's quarter time here in this round 12 clash between second place St Mary's and sixth place Wanderers, but the way the game's gone so far, Josh, the teams look a lot closer match than that.
Yes.
Only a point of difference.
Yeah, been a pretty even contest. Obviously, just getting out of the holiday feelings and getting the skills back on. But yeah, both teams taking the opportunities when they go forward, and there hasn't been a lot of them though.
So Smith and Stevens do the ruck work. Smith got his hand to it. Ball's on the ground. Cleverly done by Stevens out the back to Bo O'Connell. O'Connell breaks from the centre and drives forward towards half forward out in front of Joel Jeffrey there. Tried to tap the ball forward, but just into the body of Adam Parry, and the ball went out of bounds. So out of bounds at left half forward for Wanderers. Boundary throw in. Smith to the front, got nudged out of the way. O'Connell again with a clearance, kicks the ball deep inside forward 50 for Wanderers. First back there is Parry, who drives Saints out of defence looking for Jacob Long. Couldn't pick the ball up cleanly, was tackled in the end, but got a hand pass across to his brother. Oh no, that's Parry, I think, that got the kick forward. And Quinn out there for Saints gets a handball inboard, looking for Davies. Davies tumbles the ball forward towards half forward for Saints. It's a race on the ground between Braden McLean and Morris Rioli. And McLean held front position, but saw the ball out of bounds at left half forward for Wanderers. So another boundary throw in, this time on St Mary's left half forward flank. Smith and Stevens do the ruck work again. Smith battling for it on the ground now. The ball's not coming out quickly, and it's tapped out now. Stevens gets a hand pass across, and Wanderers have the opportunity to clear out in front of Cooper, but couldn't stop the ball from going over the boundary line once again. So the ball's been worked around to the outer wing, just in front of the TIO Stadium scoreboard. And the boundary throw in there. There's plenty of numbers around the pack. Jack Long eventually gets a kick forward, but Mitchell Taylor tidies up for Wanderers, but his kick's chopped off by Parry back there. Kick inside, off hands to Paredes, who gets a hand pass across to Rioli. A slick hand pass to Yaron running through. He hand passed forward to Salmon, who has a kick round the corner towards goal, and just offline, might have even hit the goal post. Yeah, that's the goal umpire says that's the case, and another minor score to Saints. So goal's pretty hard to come by so far tonight. Oh, that's a dangerous kick towards the goal square and put his teammate under pressure there. Braden McLean comes in to help, and eventually the ball trickles over the boundary line. So all very well to switch back across goal when you hit your targets, but as soon as you miss, you put your teammate under pressure.
Yeah, Wanderers have been struggling just to find their way out of their back line like that all night so far, so hopefully they can fix that up.
Mitchell Taylor there again. His kick's half smothered, but Dre Thompson picks it up and drives Wanderers out of the defensive 50. Joel Jeffrey in front there takes a good contested mark in front of Braxton Armatt. Just forward of half-back. He kicks short along the wing looking for Bo O'Connell, who was under pressure from Joseph Salmon, and the ball spilt out of bounds again.
Really good contest there between those two young boys. Worked up the ground. Bo O'Connell worked up the ground, and Joseph chased him and followed him, and yeah, made a really good 50-50 of it.
So boundary throw in. Ryan Smith will win the free kick here, interfered with in the ruck contest. And Jacob Long looking for the cheap one round the side, but he ignores that, kicks forward, ball comes to ground, and it's Salmon with a chance from right half forward. The ball swinging back around, and it's another great goal from there. So we've seen one from either side, from pretty much exact same position. A couple of young blokes with some terrific goals. Joseph Salmon for Saints this time.
Yeah, a bit of reward for effort there from Joseph Salmon. So good to see him getting on the scoreboard, and it was a lovely little kick from the forward pocket there.
Yeah, so the Saints' second goal on the board, first for the quarter, and they've probably had a few easier opportunities that they've missed during the night, and a couple of the more difficult ones have gone through. So so Saints are now out to an 8-point lead early in this second quarter. Umpire Dalglish again to get us started. And it's Smith and Stevens doing the ruck work. Smith for St Mary's. Beautiful bounce. Stevens this time wins the tap. There's a whistle on the play from an umpire on the outer side. Said that Paredes was being held. And he'll take the free kick and drive Saints forward. He kicks low inside forward 50, but Braden McLean cuts across and chops that one off with an intercept mark at centre half back. Slows the play down. He goes short now, straight up the ground, and hits his teammate there in Warwick Williams. Williams kicks inside to Robert Howard, and Howard drives towards half forward, but it's Saints in front there through Quinn, but he was holding onto the arm there of Tyrell Louis, is it?
Yeah.
And no, it was Dylan Dos Santos, in fact, who hand passed off, and Warwick Williams takes the mark. About 50 out for Wanderers on the outer side. Take his best kick from there, I would think, but he's taking his time and lining up. He looks pretty confident. Kicks on the way now, but it's never going to bother the goal mouth. Drifted across and went through for a minor score. So Jack Long for St Mary's to bring him in, goes short. Oh, that's a dangerous kick and missed the target, and an opportunity here for Howard, but he dropped the ball when he was tackled, and Saints win the free kick, fortunately for Jack Long.
A bit lucky there.
Ordinary. So Saints bring it out down this grandstand side. Smith in front, sees the ball fall in front of him. Paredes is there. Salmon comes in for the contest. No quarter given.
Oh.
And Salmon will win the free kick against Fuller. Looked like a pretty fair contest. Both players going hard at the ball, but anyway, it comes forward now. And it's Calder who marked and chipped inside and found his teammate Rhett Jordan. And Jordan will go back and take a set shot from about 35 out on a slight angle. Saints kicking towards the airport end this quarter, and an opportunity to stretch that 8-point lead that they hold at the moment. Jordan's kick on the way. Goal umpire's made a bit of ground and it's missed to the left, so some gettable opportunities have been missed, Josh, and that's keeping the game close, I suppose.
Yeah, Saints are getting their opportunities, just working hard forwards when they win the football, or if Wanderers turn it over. But yeah, just unable to convert at the moment.
So Braden McLean runs out of the goal square and then kicks short and hits up his teammate Tyrell Louis on the outer side. He kicks in short again, and the mark's taken there by Warwick Williams. Williams drives the ball down the wing, looks close to the boundary line. In fact, it's drifted out over the boundary line, and Saints will take the free kick. Jack Long wanted to take it, of course, but I don't think that umpire Ferguson is going to let him. Oh, yes, he is. He's just making him go back over the mark. So Jack Long brings it back in for Saints. Hugs close to the boundary line. A strong overhead mark taken there by Jackson Calder. Kicks inside and finds Leroy Larson just outside 50. He chips across again, but Cooper's worked his way back there for Wanderers and got his hands to it first, but his hand pass misses the target, and Jake Long was able to chip in short and find Leroy Larson, who was a little bit casual with it, almost dropped it, but took it on the second grab, and he'll go back and have another shot at goal. Of course, Leroy Larson kicked Saints' only goal in the first quarter from a set shot at the other end of the ground. But you'd back him in from here, wouldn't you, Josh?
Yeah, I think he's within range, and he's got a really good kick on him, so...
So Larson's kick on the way now. Hands are clapping in the goal square, and that's another goal for Saints. That's Larson's second, one in each quarter, and Saints kick their second for the quarter and just stretch that lead to 14 points. So after a pretty even first quarter, St Mary's looked to be having the bulk of the possession in this quarter and the field position, and with a couple of goals starting to make that count on the scoreboard, Josh.
Yeah, I think Wanderers are missing Daniel Weecher tonight. Braden McLean obviously would have him side by side, and I think finding a way out of that back defensive 50 is much easier when you've got Weecher making space out there for you. So they're really missing his skills.
Ryan Smith gets the tap forward. Jackson Payne in there keeps the ball in front of him, toes it along. McMurray picked up, hand pass but missed the target, but Quinn got back there for Saints. Ball's driven inside forward 50 now. Quick hands comes across to McMurray, bursting through. Ball slips out of his hand. Jackson Payne picks up, has a shot at goal, and it's through. So wasn't the prettiest bit of action that we've seen, but was pretty effective. Saints had the numbers there all the way down the ground, and stronger bodies, and worked their way forward. And Payne, who was pretty quiet in the first quarter, starting to get into the game a bit now, and has got himself a goal on the board.
Yeah, just forced their way through, and were clean with it off the ground, and yeah, took his opportunity really well.
And a bit of good body work on the goal line from Calder helped to keep the Wanderers player away from it as well. So Saints with the only 3 goals of the quarter, almost 12 minutes in, and Wanderers really need to get themselves back on the board here. It's a free kick again in the centre. This time it's going to Shannon Rioli. He kicks long and deep into the forward line. Calder underneath this one, couldn't take the mark, but off hands, taken nicely there by the Norwood player from the NTFL, Rhett Jordan, but his kick hit the goalpost, and another minor score. So Wanderers defence under siege a bit at the moment, and McLean drives straight down the ground looking for Mitch Taylor. Got his hands to the ball but couldn't take the mark. Now he's under pressure, slaps it forward. Louis comes in, picks up cleanly, but he's tackled straight away. Got the hand pass forward, but Wanderers have got some numbers there, and it's Howard who chips out wide and finds the big fella Mitch Garton, and chance to, his kick is very high going inside 50, and Tom Davies will tidy this one up, no problem at all. Plays on straight away, finds Jacob Long out there who spilt the mark, but he's able to recover, and now looks to kick the ball back inside the corridor. Ryan Smith picks up a good hand pass to Leroy Larson, who's off and takes a bounce. Shannon Rioli runs past and chips in short, and Joseph Salmon is all by himself, about 25 out from goal, almost directly in front. So Saints moved the ball pretty quickly and found some free players, and Wanderers just a bit slow and just a bit tardy in rounding some of those loose players up, and Salmon found himself all alone and now has an opportunity with a set shot to stretch that lead again. Kicks on the way, looks pretty good, no problem at all, and another goal for Saints. So they've started the quarter with a bang, 4 in a row, and Wanderers now desperate to get some possession and get the ball forward.
Yeah, costly turnover there. Wanderers had it just at centre forward there. Just needed a nice kick delivery into full forward and just put it a bit too high, and Tom Davies able to get it out quickly for a quick clearance, and yeah, Saints work their way down the ground, easy goal.
Yeah, and that kick into inside 50 from Wanderers was the result of some good work in the middle of the ground to get the ball there. Just unfortunate, but anyway, we're back with the action again. Nick Yarran gets a hand pass to Paredes. Paredes kicks Saints forward again. Ball spills out. It's Wanderers first back there, but there's plenty of numbers around the ball and no clean possession, but a free kick here, and looks like Fuller back there who hand passes across to Mark Motlop, drives the ball down to half back, and the mark's taken by Garton. He chips inside to Shannon Motlop, who plays on quickly with a hand pass, and Wanderers come out of defence, but not for long, as Nick Yarran picks up and pumps the ball back inside 50. Bit of interference there, strong tackle, but umpire said that was high, and it'll be Nathan Paredes who takes the free kick here.
Really well done here by Braith Hodges. Knew when to come off his player, and he came forward, intercepted, and yeah, resulted in Paredes getting a free kick in the forward line.
So plenty of changes on the interchange. The opportunity's there while there's a set shot at goal. And it's Paredes having the shot for Saints. Kick goes towards the goal line now. Goal umpire has a close look, but the ball's missed to the left-hand side. So Braden McLean to bring it in for Wanderers. Runs out of the square, kicks towards the grandstand side here. The mark's taken there by Dos Santos. And he now chips short and finds his teammate there in Warwick Williams. Williams kicks it low inside the centre square, but Ryan Smith chops it off, hand passes across to Paredes, kicks about a 5-metre kick to Shannon Rioli, who hand passed across, and Paredes on the end of it has another shot at goal and offline again. So Rhett Jordan in amongst that chain of hand passes and starting to exert some influence on the game now.
Yeah, Saints just been a bit more cleaner with the football and linking up through the middle of the ground, so just starting to put that scoreboard pressure on.
Fuller for Wanderers, kicks to the outer side, but that's ill-directed, and it's Jordan again for Saints. Kicks the ball back towards the top of the goal square. Jackson Payne drifting across the front, got his hands to it but couldn't take the mark. Mitch Taylor with a clever little back heel, found a teammate who won a free kick for a high tackle. Don't see that every day, Josh. Nice little piece of footwork from Mitch Taylor.
Been watching the World game, I think.
Maybe that's what he's been playing while he hasn't been playing NTFL all season. So Braden McLean up early and untidily. It was Jake Long and gave away the free kick. And it's Dos Santos out there who switches the ball back inside the corridor. And it's Matthew Motlop. Kicks in short to Brenton Motlop. Brenton Motlop straight down the middle of the ground looking for Thomas Motlop. Hits his hands, ball's in front of him. He picks up again, hand passes out wide. Brenton Motlop with some strong body work cleared the path. And Thomas Motlop with the opportunity, but just couldn't take the ball cleanly there, and eventually disposed of the ball incorrectly, and it's a free kick against him to Morris Rioli. Morris drives the ball inside forward 50. It's Calder on the end of this one. Tries to centre the ball. It's half smothered. Paredes is first there though, but he's tackled. Didn't really get rid of it properly, but umpire said play on. Bo O'Connell came in and was dispossessed with the tackle. Would have been a set shot at goal from about 30 out, but it was who took advantage there. I didn't see the play. Might have been Leroy Larson.
I think it was Leroy, yeah.
Took advantage and missed. So Wanderers now with the chance coming down the corridor, but again Thomas Davies for Saints chops it off and kicks back inside 50. Paredes thought he had the mark there, but it was knocked out of his hand, and Mitch Taylor tidies up for Wanderers. He finds Jabaston Priest just inside the square. He drives the ball forward. Jacob Long chips in but can't take the mark. Ball hits the ground, and there's a free kick to Wanderers there, and they've got the chance to go forward. Joel Jeffrey looking to get on the end of this one. Some strong body work. Recovers first, around the corner, and chips it through for a very clever goal. So Joel Jeffrey with some really good body work there. Got his opponent out of the way and had the presence of mind. Saw that the goal square was vacant and kicked it on the outside of the foot and dribbled it through for Wanderers' first goal of the quarter, much needed.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Wanderers were struggling to get it through their half-forward line in the middle of the ground here, and Joel Jeffrey hadn't been in the game, and maybe Shannon Motlop would have liked him to come up a bit higher to change that and get him into the game. But lucky for Thomas, Motlop got a free kick and then found Joel Jeffrey, and he made the most of it.
So back here for the restart after that Wanderers goal. It's Ryan Smith up against Joe Baston Priest. Bounce comes back over the umpire's head, and we'll have another go at it in the centre square. So Brenton Motlop playing a bit of a midfield role tonight. Normally see him deep in defence, but Wanderers have decided that's their best option.
I think they're struggling for a bit of size in the midfield. There's been 3 occasions now where free kicks have been given for holding the man out of the midfield. So
this time it's Paredes again, drives straight down the middle. Payne almost took the mark on his face there, but ball's forced forward and hits the behind post eventually, and we'll have a boundary throw in. And the opportunity for St Mary's again to lock this in their forward line and get another shot on goal. So Smith and Priest doing the ruck work. Smith in front, ball spills over the back. Fuller's there, couldn't take it cleanly, and now he's trapped on the ground with the ball underneath him, and we'll have another ball up about 20 out from the St Mary's goal. Smith in there thumps it forward, but Matthew Motlop able to get a quick kick away under some pressure down there. Ball's on the ground, and no clear possession being able to be won there, and we'll have another ball up, but the ball has worked its way back out to almost the 50-metre mark. Smith taps it down towards his feet, and again a holding free kick will go St Mary's way, and it's Nick Yarran this time. He's steadying things down, going back, and looks like he'll be taking a set shot. He'll kick from around about 50 metres, and we're 22.5 minutes into this second quarter, approaching half time. So St Mary's have added 4 goals this quarter to Wanderers 1. And Nick Yarran, slow approach, kicks long towards the goal line. Looks like a pretty good kick, and it is. And that's a terrific set shot for goal. I just thought that he might not have enough momentum coming in to kick that, but he obviously knew his capabilities and got the distance pretty easily in the end.
Yeah, just another free kick there. Just come out of that stoppage work. Saints have definitely become dominant in there. I think Bo O'Connell early was winning the football for Wanderers out of the midfield, but Saints have definitely got on top in there at late, and it's resulting in scores. Yeah,
and the Wanderers players are obviously worried about the power and the ability of the Saints midfielders, and that's why those free kicks are being paid. They just don't want them to break loose with the ball. So umpire Sam Ferguson to ball it up. He's a VFL umpire, formerly from NTFL. He's just back to do some games this weekend, which is fantastic. Priest up high, gets the tap down. O'Connell in there, couldn't take possession, was being held. And this time it's a Wanderers free kick from the clearance. So O'Connell runs off and drives Wanderers forward towards the outer side. Thomas Motlop in front there, but the siren beats them all. So a good quarter for Saints then, 5 goals to 1, and at half-time it's St Mary's 6-10-46, leading Wanderers 2-4-16.
We're here for when the heavens open. and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1, bun with icing. No, pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
Choosing a health fund can be tricky. Some are too big, too small, or just not right at all. But with Territory Health Fund, you can make sure your cover is the right fit.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You go home and get your panties, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffle, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthdays coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Just about to get underway with the third quarter of the first game back in year 2020 after the Christmas break. We've got these two great rivals, St Mary's and Wanderers, playing off in this Friday night game in round 12 of the TIO NTFL competition. St Mary's started to flex their muscles a bit in that second quarter, kicking 5 goals to 1 and hold a pretty handy 30-point lead at half-time. Joshy, we saw just at the half-time break, Jack Long looked to be icing up a bit and hasn't returned to the field. Looks like he's out for the game.
Yeah, 3-man bench for Saints at the moment, so a bit unlucky there for Jack.
Anyway, we're underway again. Braden McLean in the middle there, got the hand pass out the back, and Aaron Motlop kick Wanderers forward, falls into the hands of Shannon Motlop, has a shot on goal. It's high and it's touched on the line by Braxton Armat back there. So
bit of blast from the past there.
Yeah, it was, and almost a perfect start for Wanderers. Kick comes in, but it's Bo O'Connell who's chopped it off for Wanderers. He's been busy tonight, Joshy.
Very, yeah, he's been good good out of the midfield for Wanderers tonight, getting plenty of the footy.
Kicks the ball in towards the top of the... Up high was Joel Jeffrey, but couldn't take the mark. Hand pass comes across. Braith Hodges took possession, but was grabbed and pushed as he tried to kick, and didn't get the ball onto his foot. And the experienced Thomas Motlop will go back and have a shot for goal. So Thomas playing his first game back after injuring a hamstring in the first couple of minutes of a game against Nightcliff, about round 8, I think it was. So he's lining up now, trying to get his side back into the game, and that's a very good finish. So Wanderers with first blood in the third quarter, and it's been some of their experienced players that have got them there. Shannon Motlop with an early touch, and Aaron Motlop and Thomas, and Bo O'Connell continuing with the good work that he's been doing. So
yeah, I think Wanderers are going to rely on their young guns to step up in this second half. Bo O'Connell and Joel Jeffrey get their hands to the footy. We know that Joel can turn a game with his goal kicking ability, so we'll just wait and see what they can do.
So yeah, interesting that Braden McLean's been moved into the midfield to try and give him a bit of drive in there. He got his hands on the ball in that first clearance, and so all the Wanderers players behind there, ruckman, as this ball goes up. Ball comes towards Paredes now, who picks up off the ground. Quick hand pass to Jordan. Jordan, good hand pass out under pressure to Quinn. Quinn drives Saints forwards. Some good defensive work back there by Jordan Jeffrey, but he was tackled and the ball spilled out. Now Leroy Larson on the end of it, kicks around the corner. It's high and it's floating, and Damien Fuller under it, couldn't take the mark, but butters up and runs the ball out of defence now, and Wanderers bring the ball towards this wing. Jake Long there with Michael Cooper. Bo O'Connell eventually picks the ball up, but is tackled, and now the ball spills out, and Cooper cleverly picks it up and runs away, takes a bounce, drives Wanderers forward towards half-forward. Shannon Motlop up high, couldn't take the mark. Thought he might have been held without the ball there, but play on's the call. Jacob Long now with the hand pass out to Jake Long, and Jake kicks the ball high towards half-forward for Saints. Oh, another high fly there, but Braden McLean kept his eye on the ball on the ground and took the mark. Kicks inside to Mitch Taylor. Ball bounced off his chest, and then he tied it up and took it on the second grab. But his kicks missed the target there. Oh, Taylor coming through strongly. Missed everything, fortunately. And umpire will settle things down and restart just in front of the grandstand here. So pretty exciting opening to the third quarter. Wanderers come out with a bit of energy and looking to make a contest. Cooper got the good hand pass from the ground out to O'Connell. O'Connell drives the ball inside 50. Jacob Long back there got a fist to it, and the ball went out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in 25 metres around from the behind post, right behind post for Wanderers. Bit of argy-bargy there between Thomas Motlop and Jacob Long. But the umpire says, let's play some footy. And Ryan Smith takes the ball uncontested out of the ruck, but then was tackled and didn't get rid of the ball quickly enough. And so it'll be Braden McLean with the free kick. And Braden's given him a bit of energy going into the middle early in this third quarter, Josh.
Yeah, I think he's added just a little bit to that midfield quartet in there, and hopefully he can convert this score and get a bit of scoreboard pressure on for Wanderers.
And of course, he's a very good user of the ball, so if he gets his hands on the ball, it'll be advantageous to Wanderers. He's now got an opportunity with a set shot. Doesn't get too many shots at goal these days, but pretty deliberate in his approach. Kicks on its way and looks pretty good, and that's snuck through for Wanderers' second goal for the quarter. So they've come out all cylinders firing and have kicked the first 2 goals of the third quarter, and the margin's been tightened up now to just 17 points.
Yeah, whatever Shannon Motlop addressed them with at half-time, it's got them playing with a little bit more freedom, a little bit more movement around the ground as well for Wanderers when they look up out of their half-back line. So obviously resulted in a goal for Braden McLean there, and good move to put him in the midfield.
So just waiting for the restart here. Kate Stevens gone into the middle, and still a bit of disagreement off the ball down in Wanderers forward line, but Braden McLean again in there, gets the clearance for Wanderers, drives them forward. Shannon Motlop on the end of this one, couldn't take the mark. Jacob Long cleans up for Saints, kicks the ball wide towards the outer wing. It's a foot race there, and looks like McMurray and Tyrell Louis, but now some support from James Quinn, and the ball goes over the boundary line. But yeah, Wanderers just really look like they're up and about early in this third quarter, where they looked a bit flat in the second quarter, so that's some promising signs. Smith gets in front with the tap down. Quinn with his hands to the ball was tackled, and the ball spills out now. Matthew Motlop kicks across looking for Michael Cooper, takes the ball cleverly, hand passes inboard to Bo O'Connell, got a bit of space, dodges around a couple, then hand passes forward, and Saints drive it away. Nick Yaron on the end of this one, gets the ball out in front of Joseph Salmon, who toes it forward, out forward of the wing now, picks up, he's tackled there, beautiful tackle, and a great tackle by Dylan Dos Santos there on Joseph Salmon. And Wanderers are looking pretty strong now. Mitchell Taylor chips it back across, and it's Jordan Jeffrey there for Wanderers now. He drives the ball back towards this grandstand wing. Matthew Motlop in front, couldn't take the mark. He receives now and kicks forward. That was Howard kicking forward, and Shannon Motlop in the marking contest there was manhandled by Jacob Long, and will take the free kick. And Shannon Motlop go back, take a shot for goal.
Just use his bigger body there to out muscle Jacob.
Yeah, I don't know how his kicking is these days, but a few years ago he would have made the distance here with a stab pass, I think. But he's coming in now, be kicking from just inside 50, no angle to speak of. Kicks on the way, he's got plenty on it. Goal umpire's made a bit of ground, and unfortunately that one's missed to the right. But all the running with Wanderers early in this third quarter. And Saints now with the chance to reset. Ball comes to the grandstand side. Smith's there, but he's got some numbers against him, but strong overhead mark by Ryan Smith. He drives the ball down the wing again, looking for Leroy Larson. Mitch Taylor over the top, forces the ball to the ground and over the boundary line. So good defensive work there by Taylor. And another boundary throw in on the grandstand wing. So ball comes over the back. Smith can't control it there. Howard gets in and he's tackled and the ball spills out. Jordan similarly for Saints. Matthew Motlop with some good hands to Aaron Motlop, and Brenton Motlop drives Wanderers forward. Joel Jeffrey onto the end of this one. He fumbles at first but picks up and kicks, and it's another goal to Wanderers. And they're all over Saints at the moment. They've kicked the first 3 goals of the quarter, and yeah, looking really energetic and really up and about.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy's up around the stoppages, and yeah, they're hitting in quite hard with their bodies, and when they get the release out the back, then they're just using the ball really cleanly into their forward line. Joel Jeffrey just takes his chances and opportunities every time.
Yeah, he's a clever player, and he uses his body well, gets in good positions, and a good finisher. So the margin's back to 10 points, and St Mary's haven't added to their half-time score. We've got a real contest on our hands now, and just off air, Joshy, between ourselves, we were thinking that it could be a bit of a blowout in the second half, but Wanderers have come out really firing in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's good to see that making a contest of it. As we know, a bit of a grudge match, and Wanderers they won't give up, and to credit to them, they've managed to scramble their way back 10 points down now.
So ball up in the centre. Ryan Smith taps it forward. No clean possession in there. Ball comes out eventually. Thomas Motlop gets a kick out of the air, kicks it forward in front of Cooper, bounces past him, and hand pass over the head, and Salmon eventually for Saints picks up, runs with the ball. Umpire says he's run too far there. He was looking to give, but didn't have anyone to give to, and took those extra few steps, and Wanderers now with the chance to go forward again. Howard kicks it out wide here, looking for Matthew Motlop. Some clever work, gets around Quinn and drives forward, looking for Joel Jeffrey. Got his hands to the ball but couldn't take the mark. And the Saints player, Liam Daly, back there trying to clear, but stepped over the boundary line. And so we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, Joel Jeffrey and Tyrell Louis both spent some time at the Gold Coast, as we said earlier in the call, and I think they got a lot out of it, a lot of learning lessons, and just how the professionals go about it. So you can see that Joel's making the most of it.
It's a boundary throw in now. Ryan Smith takes it out of the ruck and kicks Saints out of defence, but a good strong mark taken there by Wanderers, and the hand pass comes across to Braden McLean. He goes inside and finds Brenton Motlop. Brenton Motlop drives the ball straight down the corridor. Jake Long drifts across in front but can't take the mark. Cooper with some clever work now around the body on the left foot, just offline. Of course, he kicked that exciting goal in the first quarter, and almost another there.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Villaggio will be really happy with the amount of outside ball that Wanderers are winning at the moment, and yeah, they're just using it to their advantage, getting long, deep entries into their 50.
So Daly again for Saints, brings the ball back, and Mitch Taylor gets rid of his direct opponent, and the umpire says that was illegal, and it's a free kick to Jackson Calder right down here on the half-back flank. He chips in short to Quinn, who marks in front of Matthew Motlop. Quinn drives the ball down the wing, looking for Ryan Smith there, but there's plenty of Wanderers defenders around him, and that ball's punched over the line by Daniel Fuller, who hobbles off. Looks like just a bit of cramp, I think. And we have another boundary throw in. So Smith and Stevens to do the ruck work. That throw in falls a bit short. Slippery hands, I think, and we'll have another attempt at the boundary throw in. Stevens in front gets his hand to the ball. Tackled without it there was Nathaniel Paredes, and it'll be a Saints free kick on the grandstand wing here. Paredes looks at his options in the forward line. They all look pretty well clogged up by the Wanderers defenders. He goes short instead now and finds Leroy Larson. Larson looking to drive Saints inside forward 50. Long kick, Payne in front there, couldn't take the mark. The ball's thumped away, and Braden McLean again for Wanderers clears out of defence. But this time, the ball goes out the back, and Wanderers with the opportunity there through Warwick Williams. Kicks inside 50. Thomas Motlop was interfered with, and he'll take the free kick about 45 out from goal towards the boundary on the grandstand side. Shannon Motlop making a lead across half forward there, had a bit of space, but Thomas really wasn't in a position to kick at that stage. Looks like he's going to back himself to have a shot at goal from here. Plenty of Saints defenders down towards the goal line. So Thomas Motlop's kick now, but that's way off line to the right and out of bounds on the full. Thomas Motlop, fair to say, a Wanderers player that the Saints fans love to hate.
I think it's a little bit of a mutual agreement there.
He usually plays well against Saints, that's for sure.
He gets up for the contest, so it's always good to have a little bit of that out there.
Yep. So ball comes back in now. Jacob Long in front, couldn't take the mark. It's Slater on the ground, gets a hand pass, and the ball comes down here. Calder interfered with, but Nick Yarran took the advantage over the back, took a bounce, drives the ball in forward, and some heavy shepherding work there, work to Saints' advantage. Ryan Smith picks up, chips in, has his teammate there, Riley Miller, running onto the ball and has a shot at goal and kicks the goal, and that's the Saints coaching box will be relieved to get that one on the board, I would think, after Wanderers came out on fire after the half-time break.
Yeah, it took advantage of the fast break, and MJ just put a nice little block on there, and Riley Miller just worked his way forward and got rewarded with a goal. So
yeah, Riley Miller's first goal of the night, and some good work down this wing by Saints, and Ryan Smith up forward for a short time and proved his worth. Kicked across, and Miller finished nicely. So we're 17 minutes into this third quarter. Saints push that lead back out to 15 points after they led by 30 points at half-time, and got a real contest on our hands. Ball goes up now. Hit-out's won by Garton for Wanderers, and pretty crude tackle there on the Saints player in Slater. He kicks the ball towards half forward, and a strong mark taken by Jackson Payne in between a couple of Wanderers players. Plays on straight away, kicks towards the top of the goal square where Ryan Smith's waiting. He was being held down there by Jordan Jeffrey, and just the big body held his position, and Jordan Jeffrey trying to get him out of the way, infringed, and Ryan Smith discards the shin guard, and we'll have a shot at goal from about 15 out directly in front.
The game's ebbed and flowed a little bit in this third quarter, and Saints trying to take advantage of it while it's in their hands, and hopefully Ryan can convert this goal.
So Smith's kick on the way, and he hasn't. He's missed to the left, which is a pretty bad miss from a set shot from that position, even for the big fella. But
it's a long way down for him.
So McLean bringing it in for Wanderers. He's been everywhere in this third quarter. Drives the ball well outside 50. Oh, some clever work down there by Louis. Tapped the ball in front of himself, but now under some pressure, and now Joseph Salmon for Saints. Kicks the ball in towards the corridor. Jackson Payne takes a strong mark in front. Looks to play on straight away, and Brenton Motlop ran over the mark, and I think he the umpire hadn't called play on, so it'll be a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, just noticing a few blokes out there starting to cramp up a little bit. So just after that holiday break, just running the legs out, and just need an extra bit of fluid up here in the top end. So
yeah, I mean the weather's pretty warm, but the play's been pretty hot in this third quarter as well. So there's been a bit of pace on it, and some of the players feeling the effects. So Jackson Payne now with the chance for another steadying goal for St Mary's. An experienced player, plays with Redland Bombers in the NTFL League. Kicks on its way now, and is this one missing to the left as well? It is. So I don't think it's any wind that's doing anything with that. It's just some poor kicking at goal.
Those are the ones you want to get. Don't want them to come back and haunt you at the end of the match.
So just entering time on in the third quarter, and Wanderers to bring it in from defence again. Braden McLean kicks long outside 50. Ryan McMurray under this one. Ball goes through his hands. Jordan Jeffrey in there, gets a hand pass forward. Quinn under some pressure picked up the ball but got wrapped up pretty quickly, and umpire says we'll ball this one up. So Garton and Payne doing the ruck work. Payne gets his hand to it, but Matthew Motlop gets the kick forward straight through the hands there, and Tom Davies picks up, tackled, but gets a hand pass forward to Quinn. Quinn kicks forward, slapped forward by Payne, but McLean's back there again under a lot of pressure, and now Calder with the ball in front of him, but he's worried out of it. Ball comes back into the hands of Paredes. He tries to dodge a couple of tackles. Eventually got to Morris Rioli with some clever work. Oh, and a bulk and a kick at goal. And he's got it. Fantastic work by Morris Rioli. Made something out of nothing there, really. He was under plenty of pressure. Dodged a couple of tackles and a bit of magic. And a brilliant finish. And a much needed goal for Saints as they steady now. After Wanderers kicked the first 3 goals of the quarter, MJ did some really fancy work down there.
Yeah, just highlights his composure. Seems like he's got a lot more time out there than most other players, so just using that Rioli magic.
Just watching the replay now, yeah, bit of a back turn there, a duck and weave, and then a very composed finish. And an excellent goal for St Mary's. So the lead now for Saints is 23 points as we approach the 22-minute mark of this third quarter. So they peg back most of what Wanderers put on the board early in the third quarter. But it's been a really entertaining contest in this third quarter. Payne again doing the ruck work for St Mary's, but ball eludes everyone. Payne picks up on the bounce, kicks forward with the left foot. Looking out here for Salmon. Ball bounces off his chest, but he recovers well. Kicks inside to his skipper, Shannon Rioli, who takes a mark inside the centre square. He drives a low kick inside looking for Smith, but the ball bounced in front of him. Tyrell Louis coming out of defence. Hand passes behind him under pressure. Ryan Smith hand passed out wide to Salmon. Another hand pass inside looking for Yaron, but just missed the target, and the ball's on the ground now. Plenty of players over the top of it, and nothing coming out cleanly from there. And it'll be a ball up just inside the boundary line in Saints' forward pocket at the Michael Long centre end. Smith doing the ruck work down in the forward line there. Oh, picked up nicely there by Baxter Slater. Kicks right across the face of goal. I think he was probably looking for Calder out there, but missed him, and the ball bounced out of bounds in the right forward pocket for St Mary's.
Yeah, Wanderers will be a bit disappointed with letting Saints back into the game. Obviously getting that good start in the third quarter, but Braden McLean moving out of the midfield has probably hurt them a little bit there.
So the ball comes in front of the Saints goal, about 20 metres out. Plenty of players around the ball. Quick kick comes out, but on the end of this one, a strong overhead mark taken by Adam Parry for St Mary's, and he's taken that mark about 45 metres out on a slight angle. Hand passes off to Shannon Rioli, who ducks the player on the mark. Got a hand pass across to Jake Long. Jake Long has a flying shot on goal, and he's kicked it, I think. So a little bit untidy. Shannon Rioli sneaking around the back, trying to get the hand pass to have a shot on goal, but the player on the mark was awake to it, but eventually came across to Jake Long coming down from half back, and he kicks his first goal for the game. So after Wanderers opened the quarter with the first 3 goals, St Mary's have kicked the last 3 and pretty much restored the lead that they had at half time. So umpire Dalglish to get us started again as this third quarter draws to a close. St Mary's back out by 29 points. Ryan Smith back in the ruck. Takes the ball out of the ruck, gets a hand pass across to Jordan. But there's a free kick off the ball and it'll go to Ryan Smith. Obviously, tackle was held too long after he got rid of it by Mitch Garton. Smith chips out to the outer wing, and the mark's taken out there by Davies. Chips in short to Paredes, still outside forward 50. He chips in and hits up Calder on the lead. He got a gap of about 20 metres on the lead there, and a nice pass inside hit him on the chest, and he'll have a chance to kick his first goal for the night, which is a bit unusual. Saints leading goal kicker, I think. And so the siren's gone, and he'll have his shot after the siren's. Pretty acute angle out there, but kick comes in now. It's going close to the goal line and just punched away before the goal line, and no score added. So a really entertaining third quarter of footy there. Wanderers jumped out with the first 3 goals. Saints came back with the last 3, and not much gain, but some good football and some good endeavour by Wanderers was good to see. So at 3-quarter time, it's St Mary's 9-12-66, leading Wanderers 5-7-37.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, really feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while down power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
So back here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, where we just had a pretty interesting third quarter of footy. Scores ended up pretty even, but Wanderers came out of the blocks, kicked the first 3 goals, got themselves back into the game, but Saints steadied late in the quarter and kicked the last 3 to just about restore the lead they had at half-time. Josh, you just saw Andrew Wills walking off the ground. He's doing the work on the headphones on the bench for St Mary's today. You got a bit of news about him, is that right?
Yeah, we had a little bit of fan mail posted in, and apparently there's a couple of birthdays, the great Dylan Hale and Andrew Wills, and obviously Nate Paredes, his 25th today, so happy birthday to those boys. Yeah, so they'd be hoping for the win and party time at St Mary's after the game tonight. So we're about to start the final quarter of this first game of round 12 in the 2019-2020 TIO NTFL season. Ball comes to ground. Bo O'Connell gets the clearance for Wanderers, drives them deep inside forward 50. Thomas Motlop down there, tries a kick off the ground. Couldn't do so. Some strong work in there by the big fella for Wanderers. Ball's hotly contested down there, and eventually it's still in play and just inside the boundary line, but now it's forced over the boundary line. So I think that was Shannon Motlop there, and Adam Parry had a clash. Yeah. So Wanderers with the first opportunity deep in their forward line. Boundary throw in now. Smith again tries to take it out of the ruck. Braith Hodges in there working hard, but quick kick comes out, but only as far as Cooper for Wanderers. Play on's the call though, and his kick's smothered, and now it's Motlop who gets a kick in. Joel Jeffrey on the end of that couldn't take possession, and Saints clear it away through Quinn. Ball comes over the head of Salmon, who runs onto it now, but a cruel bounce and he slipped over, and there's a chance for Dre Thompson to tidy up for Wanderers. Missed the target there, looking for Bo O'Connell. Kicks off the ground now. Braxton Armatt overran it. Joel Jeffrey was tackled with the ball, a good tackle, and the tackle's been rewarded. And it's Nick Yarran who will take the free kick after that strong tackle on Joel Jeffrey. Kicks inside and finds Rhett Jordan. Jordan kicks towards the grandstand wing. Out in front was Fuller, but ran under the ball. Brenton Motlop tidies up for Wanderers, gets a hand pass to O'Connell, over the top to Thompson.
back to O'Connell, runs past Nick Yarran. Drives in on the left foot. Tom Davies chipping in, takes a good intercept mark, and will steady things down for St Mary's. He's got a free player on the outer side, and that's Riley Miller, who takes the mark now, kicks inside, looking for Shannon Rioli. He marks inside the centre square, chips across and finds Jordan. He drives down, and Salmon's found some space at half forward here, and chips across to Calder, who's in space. So some quick ball movement there, found out the Wanderers' defence, and St Mary's had a couple of free players that they used to advantage, and Jackson Calder will go back and again have a shot for his first goal of the game. Had the shot after the siren at the end of the third quarter, of course, and didn't quite make the distance, but distance won't be a problem this time. And he's right out in front, kicks on its way, but it's not on line, and another minor score. So goal kicking's been a bit disappointing, probably from both sides. Had opportunities to, some reasonably easy opportunities to kick goals, and they've missed, but kick comes in now, and Aaron Motlop takes the mark at half-back for Wanderers. He chips inside to Brenton Motlop. Umpire says that hasn't travelled far enough, so Brenton hand passes back to Aaron. He drives the ball down the wing here, off hands over the back. Joel Jeffries first there, but couldn't pick the ball up cleanly under pressure, and it dribbles over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in. So it'll be Jabaston Priest for Wanderers and Ryan Smith for St Mary's doing the ruck work here. That's another short throw-in. Smith gets there first. Ball comes to the ground. Jeffries kicks smothered and goes nowhere. Priest in there, gets a hand pass out. Aaron Motlop doing some work over the ball, lays a strong tackle, but the umpire said he was tackled without the ball, and Baxter Slater for St Mary's wins the free kick.
I think he was a bit lucky there.
I think he was a bit lucky there. Kick goes forward, looking for Calder again, and in between a couple of Wanderers players, takes a good overhead mark, gets back quickly, looking to see what he's got forward, chips in short and finds Paredes in some space in the forward pocket for Saints, and he'll go back. He's having a look, but I think he'll finish up having a shot for goal from about 35 out. Bit of an angle, and camera's pretty much right behind him here. Kick's on its way, looks pretty good, just drifts across the face of goal, and another minor score. So no goals so far in this last quarter, 5 minutes in, but the contest has been pretty hot, and it's Mitchell Taylor in his first game for the year for Wanderers. He'll be bringing the ball back in. He's been a really good player for Wanderers over the years. He runs outside the square now, kicks long towards the grandstand side. Jake Long under that, couldn't quite hold it, but got the ball on the rebound. Hand pass comes across now to Morris Rioli, but his kick's off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. Saw a bit of magic from him in the third quarter, but that one just slid off the side of the boot and out of bounds.
A couple of noticeable outs for Wanderers is Brett Eddy, Davin Ferreira, Liam Patrick, and obviously Daniel Weecher we mentioned earlier, so a little bit to come back for them.
And of course Saints have got plenty out themselves, but they have got a bit of strength in their side. They've got some depth now, so they've rebuilt pretty quickly after their shock last year of finishing bottom on the ladder. Strong mark in front by Jabaston Priest there, and he's looking to give off to someone, but there's no one there now. He plays the bluff and runs between two Saints players, plays on with a bounce, doesn't want to kick the ball obviously. He's looking to hand pass again. He's under pressure, eventually taps the ball forward. Leroy Larson doing some work in there. Salmon picked up and hand passed towards Paredes, but didn't hit him. Tyrell Louis in there trying to get a quick kick forward, but he's tackled and the ball spilt to ground. Long underneath, gets hand pass out to Morris Rioli. His hand pass across to no one in particular, and it's Jordan who's first there for Saints. The ball's held up underneath, and Leroy Larson with a short hand pass to Slater, back to Larson, back to Rioli. Morris Rioli kicks forward, Ball hits the ground. Paredes is there, got tackled high, as he often does, and wins the free kick. And he'll take a shot at goal from only about 25 out on a slight angle. Paredes is master at getting himself in the right position and just lowers his centre of gravity a bit and draws those high tackles at times. But he's very strong in the core, able to break tackles as well. Paredes with the kick on goal now. Chips it through, no problem at all. And Saints open the goal scoring in the last quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned that Saints had a few missing as well, likes of Jared Waite, David Armitage, Anthony Long, Henry Labastida. The list goes on. We know that Ben Rioli's heading off to South Freo, so good luck to him on his travels over to the west.
And Kieran Parnell, of course, heading down to Williamstown. He's missing tonight, but I understand they're going to play. They'll still continue to play for St Mary's in the second half of the season when they can.
Yeah. Probably can't forget Jackson Geary as well, and Anthony Wilson, a couple more. So
yeah, a couple of reasonable players. But yeah, they've covered those absences pretty well, and there's some young talent coming through. They've shown some faith in the young players, as have Wanderers, and it's good to see and looks good for the future for both clubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the ball bouncing around in between players in there. No one can take it cleanly. Bo O'Connell in there now, picks up, hand passes in front of himself, now taps it in front of himself, but he's under huge pressure from Nick Yarran. Kicked off the ground by Morris Rioli, and down there was Warwick Williams, who was tackled, but Morris Rioli again gets a hand pass, this time to Leroy Larson. Left foot chip kick inside looking for Paredes, but Mitch Taylor did some good work to get a fist to the ball there. Hand pass comes back outside to Larson. He kicks the ball towards the top of the goal square, but some Wanderers defenders down there. Salmon's first there, but he's tackled heavily. Play on's the call. McGovern gets his feet to the ball and kicks the goal. So yeah, Ryan McGovern just hanging around on the fringes. The ball eventually spilled out to him, and he finished nicely with a kick around the corner. Joseph Salmon was hit pretty hard in the contest there, and looks like he might have had the wind taken out of him a bit. Looks like he's struggling a bit.
Bit of a needed goal there for Saints just to settle it down. So just see if they can keep pushing forwards late in this fourth quarter.
So yeah, Ryan McMurray, one of those fringe players who's in and out of the side a bit. He's probably one of the best trainers I've ever seen, and just sometimes not able to carry it onto the field. But he's had a couple of touches tonight and a good finish there. So he'll be looking to press his claims to keep his place in the side.
Yeah, we speak to him a lot about clean hands and one grabbing the football. So you know, player of his size, that's what he's there to do, and finishing goals like that's going to keep him in the side.
Yeah. So a bit of a delay here while Joseph Salmon comes off in the arms of the trainers. He's looking a bit worse for wear, but he's had a good game again tonight. Of course, was the rising star in the last game before Christmas, the rising star nominee. So yeah, Saints have got a pretty handy buffer now, so no real urgency to get him back out there, I wouldn't think. In the meantime, the ball's come forward for Saints. Leroy Larson kicks inside. Jackson Payne on the end of that couldn't take the mark. McMurray's in there again, taps it forward cleverly to Paredes, who finds himself in a bit of time and space. Tries a check side kick, but goes right across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full.
Almost had too much time, I think, to think about it then.
Well, he probably had 3 or 4 defenders within 2 metres of him, but none of them were coming towards him.
Yeah.
So Wanderers the chance to reset from the back pocket now. High kick out towards half back. Bounces there and it's picked up nicely by Garton, but he tried to evade the tackle and was caught. And looks like the Saints player out there, I can't pick up who it is right at the minute. but looks like he hurt himself in making that tackle.
Is it Nick Aaron?
It could be. Jake Long's ready to take the free kick, but looks like that's not going to happen just yet.
Yeah, Nicky Aaron.
So he's been ordered off under the blood rule. Looked like he got one in the nose or the mouth or something. And so we'll just delay it again for the blood rule here. Baxter Slater will replace him on the field. And Slater's on, of course, already because it's a blood rule, but they'll have to wait for Yaron to get off the ground completely. Jake Long will take the kick. So Saints have kicked the first 2 goals of the quarter and stretched their lead out to 43 points now after Wanderers got to, I think it got to 10 points in the third quarter there after their flying start.
It's a bit of claret under the chin there, I think, from Nick.
Okay. So Jake Long's kick comes in high to the top of the goal square, punched away there. Howard on the ground is tackled straight away, and we'll have a ball up 20 metres out directly in front of the St Mary's goal at the airport end of TIO Stadium. Umpire Dalglish trying to get the players sorted, but there's plenty around the ball. There's a free kick here to St Mary's directly in front, and didn't see what that was for, Josh, but obviously the ruck infringement, because it's Ryan Smith who's going to take the mark.
There's literally no player forward of the centre for Wanderers at the moment, so there's a lot of players around the footy.
Pretty clogged up. So Ryan Smith missed one from a similar distance at the other end in the third quarter. He'll be looking to make amends here. Kick's on its way. Goal umpire makes a bit of ground, but it snuck through, no problem. And so Saints open the final quarter with 3 goals now, and Ryan Smith on the board for his first of the night. And I think the depth of talent and experience in the Saints side is starting to show now, and they're just starting to ease away from Wanderers a bit, who've been pretty game. Of course, they were disappointed with their last game before Christmas when they were over on the Tiwi Islands and gave up a bit of a lead and lost by a point over there. So it was pretty heartbreaking for them that day. But only had a young side in, I believe, on that day as well. So there's some signs there for the future for Wanderers, but they've got an uphill battle to make an impression on the premiership this year. Bo O'Connell gets a hand pass across to Braden McLean, kicks out wide, but the mark's chopped off in defence by Liam Daly for St Mary's. Kicks down to James Quinn. Quinn picks up on the bounce, kicks inside, finds Baxter Slater, and Slater kicks inside the corridor again to Parry. Parry plays on and switches across to the grandstand side. Jake Long takes the mark. He's got a free player out here on the wing in Jacob Long. He marks and runs off straight away, takes a bounce, kicks inside 50. That's a beautifully directed kick and hits Nathaniel Paredes in the right forward pocket. So some good ball movement there by Saints from the outer side half-back flank, switched it all the way across, and then found some players in space and moved the ball quickly inside forward 50. Paredes on pretty acute angle in the right forward pocket here, but no other options really than to have a shot at goal. Puts it across the body, swings it back, but not quite far enough. And behind once again for St Mary's.
Yeah, it was the ability for Saints, Jake Long and Jacob Long, to work hard to the far side of the ground, work to space. Gave them an option on goal.
So the chip kick in from McLean, Fountain, Williams. He goes across again to Taylor. Taylor chips in short looking for Cooper, but Leroy Larson read that and cut across and took the intercept mark in front. He goes in short looking for Shannon Rioli. It's over his head, and Braden McLean again tidies up for Wanderers. Kicks out wide in front of Howard. Howard Kicks down the wing, looking for Thomas Motlop there. Takes possession, but he's got swamped by 3 St Mary's players. Umpire said he didn't really make an attempt to get rid of it as it fell to the ground, and Saints take advantage and run forward. Quinn running inside 50, kicks the ball right along the ground, and it's picked up down there and kicked away by Warren Williams. But Saints again through Braith Hodges with a hand pass, and a chip it kick inside finds Jackson Calder inside 50 for St Mary's. So Wanderers look like they're starting to tire a bit now, struggling to man up their opposition, and Saints are finding some loose players inside 50 and giving themselves opportunities to score.
Yeah, Jackson Calder, first game up here in the Div 1, kicked 9 goals straight, so expect him to convert here.
Kicks on his way, but he's
put the mockers on him.
He's missed a couple tonight. I don't think he's got a goal, actually, so yeah, a bit disappointing, the finishing, but some work to do there. Mitch Taylor chips across to Williams. He drives long down the wing here, punched away by Braxton Armat, but Cooper's on the end of it for Wanderers. On the left foot, drives them forward, but he hasn't got much there. And Ryan Smith, lurking across half-back, comes up and takes the intercept mark, drives the ball back long. Well, that was a pretty crude attempt there by the St Mary's player. Bo O'Connell didn't like it and went in to remonstrate, and it was Baxter Slater that with the crude tackle, but I think it's been reversed now, and the umpire's calling for the ball. I think Bo O'Connell might be reported there for his retaliation on Baxter Slater.
Yep, Silly, he's had a good game. Got plenty of the footy and been one of their main clearance winners out of the midfield. So little things like that will ruin your game.
Yes, so it'll be. It was obviously a Wanderers free kick initially, but Bo's retaliation sees it reversed, and Slater has the opportunity to kick Saints inside forward 50. Ball comes off hands there, a kick out of the air. McMurray gathers the ball just inside the boundary line, hand passed inside, but eventually the ball found its way over the boundary line, and we'll have another boundary throw in. So Saints struggling to find someone to do the ruck work here. Paredes putting his hand up by the looks, but it was not much of a contest there for Stevens, and again some pretty crude work in there, and Leroy Larson on the end of it will get the free kick. So Wanderers just need to settle things down a bit here now. They don't need to be losing more players to suspension and the like. Not that there was anything like that in that one. It's not Larson, in fact. It's Baxter Slater who'll take the shot at goal. Kicks on its way now, and that looks pretty good. Straight through the middle, and Saints kick their 4th goal for the quarter. Wanderers haven't kicked a goal yet, so since Wanderers kicked those first 3 goals of the 3rd quarter, Joshy, Saints have kicked the next 7, so have really opened up that margin.
Yeah, it's led to a bit of frustration for the Wanderers players, and it's showing out there now. A little bit of ill discipline. You know, it probably is a bit of a dampener on what was quite a competitive game early in the first half, and that 3rd quarter really set it alight.
So we're into time on in the final quarter here. This is the first game of round 12, the first round after the Christmas New Year break in the TIO NTFL competition, and it's been a pretty good game. Saints have just managed to kick away in the latter stages, and they're a strong side. They're in 2nd position on the ladder, and looking to consolidate that as we go into the last 6 or 7 games of the season and head into finals. So after finishing bottom of the table last year, looks like they'll be playing finals footy again this year, which is where they're accustomed to being. Jacob Long in the ruck for St Mary's is an interesting one, but Bo O'Connell taps the ball forward, and now he's tackled by Miller out there. The ball spills out. Braith Hodges in there for Saints, doing some heavy work, but eventually the ball is wrapped up just inside forward 50 for Wanderers on the outer half forward flank, and we'll have a ball up. So ball comes to ground out the back. Brenton Motlop gets a quick kick forward. Contest there, and it was Adam Parry who infringed with his bigger Wanderers opponent, and Mitch Garton receives the free kick. We'll go back and have a shot from about 20 out directly in front. So Wanderers looking for the first goal for quite some time, since pretty early in the third quarter. Kicks on its way now, but looks like it's offline to the right, and just leaned back on that one a bit, Joshy, and spilled out to the right.
Yeah, just lacked a bit of conviction in the kick, and yeah, obviously didn't convert that one.
So ball's driven in along to the outer side, and it's Miller on the end of that. Takes the mark and looks to drive Saints forward again. Keeps to the outer side and in front of Calder there, who takes the mark. Plays on around the corner. A quick kick inside, and Jacob Long marking for St Mary's about 55 out on the outer half forward flank. Kicks in towards the goal square now. Oh, big leak by Morris Rioli, but a bit unrealistic, and the umpire saw it that way. And free kick back there, and Wanderers the opportunity to clear again from defence. Leroy Larson with strong bodywork against Thompson there, took the mark, kicked inside to Slater. Slater runs inside 50, kicks towards goal, but that one's offline, and a minor score. The Saints players appealing for a free kick for a high tackle as he kicked, but not forthcoming, and the minor score will count, and Braden McLean bring the ball back in again for Wanderers. Plays on now, and kicks to the grandstand side. Bo O'Connell in front there, got a hand to the ball, but ball went to ground and over the boundary line.
Yeah, poor old Braden McLean. He struggled to have some targets, some big targets outside of 50, kicking out of defence tonight. So he's done well, but yeah, there's just lacking a little bit of height.
Boundary throw in now. It's Paredes at the bottom of that, gets the kick forward, but McLean chipping across takes a one-handed mark and clears out to the outer side, where Clarence Baird spills the mark, but he's got plenty of space, and now kicks down the wing, but it's all St Mary's out there as Miller gets back, takes the mark. He's tackled, but gets a hand pass across to Braith Hodges, and Hodges now walks forward with a pretty ordinary hand pass, but it eventually found McMurray, and another sloppy kick inside 50. Paredes around the corner, kicks towards goal, skids through, and he's pretty happy with that one as Saints kick their 14th. And they've totally dominated this last quarter, as Wanderers really look to have run out of legs a fair bit as the game's worn on.
Yeah, the half forward line movement for Wanderers is almost non-existent at the moment, and their defenders are looking up with no one to kick to, so hence why they're getting the 2-on-1. Saints are getting the 2-on-1s, and yeah, it's coming back and resulting in goals.
So we're 26 minutes into this last quarter, going a bit longer. Of course, we had some delays with some injured players, but can't be too long to go now. And it's Jacob Long again doing the ruck work against Bo O'Connell. This is really interesting stuff. O'Connell won the tap and took the ball himself, and the siren goes. So it was a pretty good contest until about 10 minutes into the third quarter, Josh, but Saints flex their muscles in the end, and and kicked away to a pretty comfortable 63-point win. I think Coach Villeja will be pretty happy with that in the end. First game up after Christmas.
Yeah, good contributors all across the board there.
They've got a couple of big games coming up against the top side, so winning form's good form. So at the end of the first game of round 12 of the 2019-20 season at St Mary's, 14-17, 101. We've run out pretty comfortable winners over Wanderers 5-8, 68.